You wouldn't believe it, but somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, a small octopus once caused complete chaos in an aquarium. Not because it was aggressive, but because it was too smart. Every night, it would escape its tank, crawl across the floor, open the lid of a nearby fish tank, eat a few fish, and return before morning like nothing happened. The staff was baffled until cameras revealed the truth. That's the day people stopped seeing octopuses as just strange sea creatures and started realizing they might be some of the smartest beings in the animal kingdom. But it's not just octopuses. Across the world, animals are quietly showing us signs of intelligence we've barely scratched the surface of. Take elephants, for example. These gentle giants mourn their dead, recognize themselves in mirrors, and can remember paths and water sources years after they've last seen them. In one recorded case, an elephant returned to a spot where a member of its herd had passed away. Every year, it stood silently, sometimes for hours. That's memory. That's emotion. That's intelligence. And then there are crows. You might not think much of a crow sitting on a power line, but these birds can use tools, solve multi-step puzzles, and even recognize human faces. In one experiment, a group of crows were trained to use vending machines. They picked up coins, dropped them into a slot, and waited for food to pop out. Some even started finding coins on the street and using them on their own. That's not just learning, that's adapting. Chimpanzees, our closest relatives, are no surprise on this list. Their intelligence shows up in every aspect of their lives, from the way they use sticks to fish termites out of holes, to how they form social alliances and even manipulate others for power. In some studies, chimps have even outperformed humans in memory games. Fast, sharp, and strategic. They aren't just like us in many ways. They outplay us. But if you're thinking intelligence only lives in mammals and birds, think again. Dolphins are right up there. They have unique signature whistles, like names, that they use to call each other. When separated, dolphins can recognize the whistle of a friend or family member even after years apart. That's long-term memory. And they're not just smart, they're also emotionally deep. There have been cases where dolphins saved humans from sharks or helped drowning swimmers back to shore. Coincidence? Or a conscious choice? Let's not forget about pigs. Yeah, pigs. A lot of people underestimate them, but pigs are incredibly fast learners. They can navigate mazes, play video games with their snouts, and even learn tricks faster than dogs. Farmers have reported pigs opening gates, lifting latches, and outsmarting fences to escape. And once they've figured something out, they don't forget it. And speaking of surprising intelligence, parrots deserve a spotlight. There was one named Alex, an African gray, who changed everything scientists thought about bird brains. Alex could identify shapes, colors, even count up to 8. He didn't just mimic, he understood. If you asked him how many red blocks there were, he'd look and say, 3. And he was right. Before Alex passed, his final words to his handler were, "You be good. I love you." Chills, right? Then we have dogs, not just loyal companions, but keen observers of human behavior. Dogs understand our gestures, tones, and emotions far better than we realize. Some can learn the names of over 1,000 objects. Others can detect medical issues in their owners, like low blood sugar or even early signs of seizures. And they do it not because they're trained like robots, but because they care. They read us like an open book. Rats might be the last creature you expect on this list, but their brains are surprisingly complex. Lab studies show they can solve mazes, remember solutions, and even show signs of empathy. In one experiment, a rat would free a trapped companion, even if it meant sharing food. That's empathy in action. That's intelligence most people don't expect. And finally, let's go underwater again. Whales. These massive creatures have brains bigger than ours. But it's not just size, it's what they do with it. Humpback whales have complex songs that change over time and spread across oceans like trends. Sperm whales communicate with a series of clicks that may be more advanced than any language we know. In some cases, they even pass hunting techniques down through generations, culture in the wild. It's wild to think about, but maybe we've been wrong all along. Maybe intelligence isn't something that only humans own. Maybe it's all around us in forests, oceans, skies, and fields. If we just stop and pay attention. Some of these animals communicate, remember, feel, even mourn. Not all intelligence looks like ours. Sometimes it has feathers, flippers, tusks, or tentacles. And that's what makes this world so incredible. We're not the only minds on this planet. We're just one species in a world full of brilliance waiting to be seen. If you found this journey into the animal mind as fascinating as I did, don't forget to subscribe for more stories that reveal the hidden wonders of nature. There's so much more to discover, and I'd love to take you along for the ride.